everybody. My name's Chris Warren.
My name is Matt Lopes.
Welcome to the You Should Be Worried podcast.
How the hell is everybody? It's been so long. What is it, a week?
It's been so long. I want to say,
long.
I love this theme song. And the boys here, I'm getting outvoted here, viewers at home. They want to change
They do.
our use of the Spanish national anthem as our intro song.
Well, listen, Chris, there's so much better. Have you ever heard of Katy Perry's Teenage Dream?
I don't think we have the licensing rights to that one.
Well, we don't have this license and rights to the Spanish national anthem either.
Public domain, baby.
I don't understand what that means. I don't want to get into it.
Okay.
I will say this. It finally happened, Chris.
What did?
My car shit the bed. My 2009 Honda Civic.
I did notice a different car in the driveway.
Yeah, it's not mine no more.
So is it just done?
No, it's not done. It stopped starting on its own, and it wasn't because I usually when the car doesn't start, it's because I left the lights on and stuff, which has happened multiple times. But this time the reason it happened was the battery is starting to become so corroded that there was a bunch of blue meth crystallization looking around the battery. Yeah, it looked like an icy. It was really cool.
Did you eat any of it?
No, they told me not to.
Forbidden icy.
The guy told me not to, and he said the battery is busted. You got to get a new battery. So that's what I did today.
Oh, that's like $200. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it was fine. But he started it right back up. He started the car right back up, and I was like, oh, cool. The car works again. So I went back inside. We were hanging out yesterday. We came back inside, and then 3 hours later, when I went back out to my car, it didn't start again. So I had to sleep here last night.
Oh, wow.
Not a fan. Well, not to say that you're a bad. I didn't say that.
You got to sleep over without me, guys.
Separate rooms. Is it really a sleepover if it's separate rooms?
That's fair.
Was Anne Frank really having a sleepover with the people in the main part of the house?
I thought that was her family.
No.
That wasn't her family?
Well, she
was in the attic having a sleepover with her family. But then everybody in the main part of the house wasn't a part of the sleepover.
Of course.
That they felt real left out just hearing all the fun they were having upstairs hiding.
All the kissing their cousins and shit that they were doing up there. Anne Frank is a foxy little minx.
That's a 12-year-old girl, Matt.
All right. She's dead, though. It's fine.
Yeah, I guess you could argue that if she was still alive today, she'd be like 100 or something. So
yeah, so very overage.
Yeah.
A little too overage, honestly. All right. This is great. So yeah, the car is now we got a new battery on the car. I gotta get a tire change. Fucking gas is leaking or air is leaking out of the tire, gas in the tire. And then after that I'll be good. I had to skip out on a gig yesterday because of that shit. And honestly, it's fine. I would have rather have been like a gig like that than an actual important thing, you know?
Wow. I'm going to send a little email to the individual whose gig that was last night.
What's been up with you? Anything happening in your life that's prominent?
Let's see. What did I even do this week? Time has no meaning anymore, so I forget what happened.
What do you mean time has no meaning? What does that mean? Time never had meaning. We've always given time meaning.
Well, I guess in the sense that I'm on such a rigid schedule where I have no free time anymore.
Yeah.
That days go super quick.
Oh, shit.
Because I wake up, I go to my AA meeting, I come home, I work.
Okay.
After work, I either come do this podcast or I go do whatever I need to do comedy-wise.
Yeah.
And then by the time I get home from whatever I'm doing that day, it's usually like 10, 11 o'clock. I'm exhausted. I got to be up in 6 hours, so I go to bed again.
Right.
So time just goes.
Do you like that more or less than when the days used to draw out more? Because there's two arguments to it, you know. I would love to do nothing all day and just slowly watch how time passes by and enjoy every second sometimes. But then other times I'm no, I like having shit to do during my day to move that shit along.
I have never done well with free time.
Oh, really?
Period. I do not do well with free time, and I live alone, so I try to be out of the apartment as much as possible because it's I'm just gonna sit there and scroll on my phone or watch movies.
Right.
I'm mostly on the phone too. That's the other thing. I'm mostly if I am alone driving or at the apartment, I'm not I'm on the phone with someone talking about something usually.
Yeah.
But it's even before now. Right when I was drinking and doing drugs, that's what filled all the time.
Yeah.
So I'd get back I worked a crazy job. I would get back from a 10-hour day at my job, and then I would just get fucked up. to like 1 in the morning, fall asleep, go and hungover the next day, do it again. And then weekends, I was just fucked up the whole time.
Right.
So it's like I've never sat with like, so the only period of free time I really had was like the first year of sobriety.
Yeah.
Where I wasn't getting fucked up anymore, but I hadn't quite figured out like what to do with all my time.
Pass the time. Yeah.
Especially because like for first couple months I was unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like would do comedy at night, and that was fun. That would fill up like the whole night. I'd be out till 4 in the morning, like out in Jersey usually.
Yeah.
But then it's like during the day, I would wake up at like 11 or 12 and just have to like kill time until 7.
Right.
And it was just not
Holy
good.
shit.
Man. Not good.
Yeah, dude. Obviously, it was bad that you were doing drugs and alcohol, but it would make your day fucking fly by.
Yeah, I did some cool stuff this weekend. I took up painting watercolors.
Ooh, like on canvas or like your action figures? Not action figures. Your
they're models.
Yeah.
They're miniatures. No, because what happened with that is I was all excited and I built like a 10-man squad.
Yeah.
Of my little Space Marines, and then I realized it would take me that took me like by itself, like building and painting them, like so much time, like hours of time. And I realized, I have to do like this 10 more times to have enough to like play a real game.
Yeah.
And I don't have time because even if I built all of them and everything, right, I would go play a game of Warhammer and I would realize that the time it takes to realistically play like a full game of Warhammer at like 1,500 points is like 3 to 4 hours. So it would take up my whole Saturday. So what would end up happening is I would spend like 50, 60 hours building and painting the army.
Yeah.
Then I would go one free Saturday I had of the month, go play Warhammer one time. It would take like 6 hours, and I'd be like, that was cool. I'm never going to have time to do this again.
Right.
So I just realized it was kind of like, why am I doing all this?
Oh, damn. So you put it away?
They're all in a cupboard. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
We'll probably have to bleep his name because I don't want to like put him on blast.
Sure.
But I ran into last weekend. Did I tell you about this?
No.
Okay, so last weekend I went with a friend to the strip club.
Yeah.
Because he was in the area and he wanted to
keep going to these strip clubs, Chris.
They just keep twisting my arm. What can I do?
But do you have fun times?
No, I hate the strip club.
Why do you keep going back?
Because
and he always offers it up like it's a good idea. Like anytime I'm out with Chris or doing a show with Chris, he's always like, "Yo, Ben, we should go to the strip club, man." I'm like, should we? And he's like, no, probably not.
I always offer up as a joke, but like I have a couple friends that are just sheer degenerates. Because that's what I used to be. So those are the kind of people like I feel at home with. So they'll hit me up and be like, yo, we should go to the strip club. Yeah. And I always say like, yeah, sure. Like thinking they're joking like when I say it as a joke. And they're like, yo, so what time do you want to go to the strip club? I'm like, oh, no.
Oh.
And then they're so excited about it, I want to let them down, but then also like I know, whatever. And I always think this is going to be the time I get it. Like that's part of it too. Because everyone else seems to love the strip club so much that I think I'm clearly missing something.
Right.
This is going to be the time I'm going to go in with an open mind, and this is going to be the time that I get it.
And instead you see our boy there.
Yeah, so I went with this friend to the strip club down in Bridgeport.
Same strip club.
It's no, this is a different strip club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I usually go to another one. So we go to this. So we go to this strip club, and it is it's very, very much an urban strip club, shall we say?
Okay.
And we go, and we walk. I don't like the way Matt is judging me with his ice chewing on that one.
I'm sorry.
We get there, and they pat us down. They're like, "Hold on. No Caucasians allowed." And I'm like, yo,
No way.
man, I'm from the area. This is my friend. He's having a hard time. Could you please just come? And he's like, oh, are you Chris Warren? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, come on. You're good here. And gives me a big hug. Gives me a big hug. He's like, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you. I was like, it's fine, man. Just like, don't let it happen again. And so we go into the strip club at that point. And the second we walk in, and this strip club is crazy. This is like one of those strip clubs where it's basically a brothel.
Yeah.
Like, you basically, if you get like a dance from a girl, you can like basically go fuck her.
Yeah.
So it's really seedy strip club. We go in, and right at the bar, I hear my name. Yo, Chris Warren. And I turn around, and it is fucking.
Holy shit.
It is fucking.
Love that.
Is in there, dude.
Yeah.
And is surrounded by the strippers. Like,
dude, this is what he's using as profits
he's
for.
got like an arm around each stripper.
Yeah.
And they're both the hottest strippers in the room.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Bro.
And so he calls me and my friend over, and we're talking to him. We're catching up and everything because it's always a great time.
So sick.
He's a fun hang.
Great.
So we're hanging out, and it was so funny because I'm talking to him, and like all the strippers are giving me death stares.
Yeah.
And I realized like, oh, me talking to Tony is fucking up their whole game here. Because every minute he's talking to me,
he's not
giving them money. Because when I walked in, he was just putting money like on the table every 5 seconds, like handing them money and shit.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, I'm fucking up their whole thing. But also like, fuck these whores, okay? Your dad doesn't even love you. Why do I have to care what you think of me? All right, how about instead of what you think of me, how about I think about what God thinks of you? How about that? So I stonewalled them as they kept like looking at me. One
I care. They're going to hell anyway.
Exactly. And one kind of like try to like shove me out of the way. She could start dancing on. Oh, whoa.
You don't shove my boy Chris.
He's like, we're having a conversation here. Hold you, we're having a conversation here. Like defending my honor against
Get my 20 back.
Yeah.
Back to me.
He was the homie. You defended my honor against the dirty stripper. And I was like, thank you.
Dirty. Yeah.
And he was like, let me get you a drink. And I'm like, I don't drink. And he's like, you gotta get something, get a water or something. I was like, I'll get a water. He's like, hey! It like stabs his finger, and the stripper, like bartender, runs from the other end of the bar. Like clearly he's like the big shot in the runs over the other end of the bar. He's like, get your finest water from my friend right here on my tab. And she legit brings me a huge bottle of Fiji water.
Oh, shit.
Like, it wasn't just, like, from the gun into the cup. Like, she actually got me their finest bottle of water. And I was like, thanks.
Shit. She got an extra to the cleaning supplies in the back room.
Yeah.
That's what they used to just clean the stage after. Just fucking throwing Fiji water on the stage to clean it.
Dude, but it was strip club. Didn't enjoy it again. Like, that
you
was
went
fun.
back. You fucking went back.
Like, running into him was fun. It was because he's a character, so it was great talking to him.
He's
He had a
always
bunch of nutty stories.
Yeah.
And then he goes off to, like, go back to, paying the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go try to, like, sit and watch because what else do you sit watch the...
Right.
And just no enthusiasm in these strippers. They were doing it like, it's their job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, your whole job here is actually to convince me that you're having a good time.
Yeah.
So that I feel okay having a good time.
Right.
If you like play into the fact that you're being like objectified and taken advantage of, like then I can't have fun because now you're making me think about how you're sad.
Right.
It's not, I'm sad. That's why
Some
I'm here.
people like that. Not me.
Not me.
I like people to take pride in their work.
Exactly.
We were talking about Game of Thrones earlier with we were talking about Game of Thrones now that we're talking about like TV and shit. And we had like Ben was talking about how like he doesn't like the last season, which I agree with.
Wow, hot take, man. Really controversial.
I liked the whole season 1 through 7 arc. I could definitely feel a difference with the last season though.
You know my thoughts on Game of Thrones.
Hell yeah, dude.
If you're out there and you haven't watched Game of Thrones before, stop watching on season 3, episode 9. Finish that episode, and then don't watch the last episode of season 3, and just pretend that that's where the story ended, was at episode 9, season 3. It's a perfect show.
That's a crazy take.
It ties up all the plot
How many
lines.
people have that same take? Did you get that from somebody else, or?
That's my personal take. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would agree with me. Because the thing is, season 4 is still good, but there's a clear dip. And then once you get into season 5, it starts becoming bad.
Uh-huh.
But so season 4 is still good. The problem is the last episode of season 3, in addition to season 4, start all these new plot lines that you then have to complete. So then you have to have like up through season 7 to complete them. You stop right at episode 9 of season 3.
Oh, so it's not even the season finale. It's right before
it's
the
right
season
before
finale?
because the season finale
shit.
opens up a bunch of new plot lines that are to be addressed in season 4. But if you just stop at season 9, all the major characters you care about, all those plot lines have been completed.
Oh, shit.
Like, because if you end at that point...
And it's that true Game of Thrones fashion, too.
That, like, the bad guys won.
Yeah.
All your favorite characters are dead. The few that are alive are in ambiguous situations.
Uh-huh.
So you just assume, like, they either went into hiding.
That's how shows end anyways.
Yeah.
You know? Shows end with like some characters just like, oh, they're in this new position and we'll wonder what happens now.
Exactly.
You know?
Like Khaleesi lost her whole army. She's over there and you just assume like she just never retook Westeros and the White Walkers weren't real. That was always a myth. And then, you know, and the Lannisters win and that's the end.
Yes.
Such a better show that way.
Yeah. I was looking at fucking, we were writing sketches today and I found out that I wanted to do one about, thinking about doing one about dinosaurs. How it might be fun.
I like that.
And I was looking at I was looking up about shit about like asteroids and shit like that, and then I found out that we have another asteroid coming towards Earth that's going to be here around the year 2027.
Let's just fucking nuke it.
You think we can definitely we can definitely take care of an asteroid like that? It's definitely not gonna. It's gonna come dangerously close, but it's not gonna like hit us.
What I say we do is we wait till it gets to a certain trajectory and then we nuke it so it explodes into a bunch of little asteroids that fall into Earth. But when like America is facing the opposite way, so it hits the Asia and Europe and all the other continents. And
but then the whoever survives in those other continents can mine that shit for like, and then they'll be better off, won't they?
Half their population's dead, and we just roll over, and they're like, they're ours now. We blew up the asteroid. We get mining rights.
Well, that's the thing. I looked up what determines an asteroid as a planet killer, and anything that's over a kilometer or like a mile or something like that.
That's all it takes?
Yeah, would be considered a planet killer.
That's insane.
Right.
Because they're so big.
The asteroid has to be that big, you know? But the one that
I guess if it's come with that much force and mass.
The one that killed the dinosaurs was like 6 meters. Or not 6 meters. 6
like,
miles. 6 miles wide. Which is why it got rid of all those dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
But the one that's coming in 2027 is only like, I think, 300 to 1,000 feet.
Oh, we can tank it.
So yeah. And I don't, yeah, they say it's not going to hit Earth, but I think people should still be worried about it. You never know.
I think we should nuke it.
When when 2012 was a big thing. When that was a big thing.
Did you think that was going to happen back then?
Yeah, dude. I was how old? I was 13. I was going into high school, and nothing like that I've ever experienced. I know when I was 2 years old, everybody was like Y2K and shit like that. But for me, 2012 was like I was very sure that it was gonna happen, and then all the adults around me would be like, "It's not gonna fucking happen." They said the same thing with and the year 2000, and nothing happened. And I'm like, yeah, but like, you don't know anything. Like, you don't know.
And that whole thing is because like the Mayan calendar ended.
Shit was scary as fuck.
Yeah, but
no one ever heard of the Mayans until 2012, and like when I was, or I never heard of it.
Listen, here's what I'm gonna say. If the Mayans couldn't stand up to a couple Spaniards in boats, I'm taking everything they say with a grain of salt. All right.
Yeah.
For a people that couldn't beat smallpox, they're making a lot of big claims.
How do you know so much about the Mayans? Holy shit.
Because they're pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Did you believe in 2012 when it was happening?
No.
Not at all. You thought it was bullshit?
Yeah.
That shit scared me to my fucking core. I couldn't sleep. It was bad, dude.
Do you remember the movie they made about it?
Yes.
Did you see it?
I think I did. They showed it to me in science class.
That is, I question the Shelton school system. They
did do that, yeah.
Do you remember, because I have a weird connection, so do you remember the twins in that movie?
No.
Never mind then.
Why? No, why?
Okay, because there's these two twins. They're like supposed to be, they're like brats. You're not supposed to like them. They're these two twins that are like assholes in the movie.
Uh-huh.
And right when like that movie came out, I had a friend from film camp that lived in Long Island, and we'd stayed in touch. We were good friends.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, dude, the twins from the 2012 movie go to my high school.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, for real? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, I got to go meet him.
No way.
Like, I don't know, for some reason, I was like, I got to do this. So what I did is one day I took off. This is when I realized my parents were just fucking drunk and not at the wheel at all. Because I'm remembering the story as normal, and then I'm realizing what I actually did. So I just told my mom one day like I wasn't going to school and that she needed to drive me to the train station. And my mom was like, okay. And just drove me to the train station.
Crazy.
I took the train to Grand Central, then took the train to Long Island where my friend lived.
Yeah.
Like on a Friday because I was going to stay with him that weekend. But so I decided I was just going to go early or in the day. And so I got there like at probably noon when school was still happening. And I knew where his school was. And it's like that town is like you walked everything from the town center. So I just walked to his school. and was like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?" He's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Yo, where are the twins?" He was like, "All right." So,
were the twins your age?
yeah, they were in his class.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Or maybe they were juniors and he was a senior. This is my senior year.
Yeah.
So I just found them. In the hallways. Also, this was back, I don't know, like things have changed.
Back when you could find people.
Well, no, this is back when you could just walk into a school you didn't go to and no one questioned it.
Yeah.
Like, I just walked in at noon, like mid-school day.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't go to that school. Just walked in. No one bothered me. I just walked around until I found my friend. And then, like...
Nowadays, someone like you enters a school. People...
There's a problem. Well, I didn't have the mustache back then. And I found the twins. I was just like, hey. And they're like, hello? And I'm like, I'm a really big fan of your work. And just acted like I was a super fan. And I was stalking them. Because I had my friend like stand away, so they didn't know like I knew him.
Yeah.
So it just looked like I had just shown up to the school, which is kind of true. I did just show up to the school to see them. And I was like, can I get your autograph? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, thanks. What are you guys doing after school? You want to hang out? And they got so freaked out.
Jesus Christ.
It was great. It was so much fun.
Shit, dude.
It was so much fun. Yeah. Oh, I think you should be worried that Saudi Arabia and Iran.
What about them?
Saudi Arabia and Iran are becoming buddies.
Are they?
Yeah, over the last like year.
Cool. Are we friends with them?
We're friends with Saudi Arabia.
Oh, cool. So now we're friends with Iran.
That's this troubling part. So historically, the CIA and America at large has always taken kind of the Sunni side, because in Islam there's Sunnis and Shias, and those are the two main groups of Muslims.
Stand up New York.
And they fight each other a lot.
Yeah.
And so we've always taken the Sunni side and kept them weak by like making
them
fight each other.
Sunni is real quick?
So Sunnis believe that
no, what is it short for?
Sunni, that's the whole.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
They
Sorry.
They believe that Abu Bakr, who is
all right.
the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon his name's second in command, should have become the next leader of Islam.
Okay, sure.
After the Prophet died.
I get that.
And the Shia believed that it should have been
Shia.
Should have been should have been the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon his name's nephew, Ali. And so they had a war about who would be the next in succession.
Both make sense.
And so then from that point on, Islam split into two groups. And historically, those have carried over the generations.
Okay, and how does that relate to what we were talking about before with Iran?
So
Iran is what I use to make my clothes nice.
Iran is the predominant Shia power in the world. It's the biggest Shia country, and it's historically like the center of Shia thought.
Yeah.
And Saudi Arabia is kind of the center of the Sunni world and Sunni thought. And so historically, we've taken the Saudi side to get their oil and had them fight the Shia to keep Saudis weak and keep the Iran weak.
Okay.
But now they're kind of becoming buddies. They're making like some peace with each other. They're making some trade deals. They're being cool. And that's bad because for America,
turn them against
because if
us.
they both buddy up, then they realize that we're kind of the real problem in the region. That won't be good. We can't play them off each other anymore. And a united Islam
but we can still destroy them both. We're America.
That's true, but when they control the oil, that could be bad.
They don't control the oil. We go and get whatever we need.
Wow, that's the Patriot now. I love this.
If you've taught me anything on this podcast, I remember the first couple podcasts we did. Yeah. You were like, nah, fucking pick any other country in the world would fuck them up. Do you remember that podcast episode?
Here's the good story. So we could.
Yeah.
Definitely fuck them up. Saudi Arabia, in an instant. Iran would be a little tougher, but done.
Right.
The problem is, fear would be the same thing that happened when we invaded Iraq. Mm-hmm. So Iraq was a wash. We wiped them. In like 3 days, they were done. The whole army deserted. The problem was that no one thought that Saddam would go self-destruct mode.
Okay.
And so when we invaded, he burnt all the oil infrastructure to the ground. Like he lit the oil wells on fire and blew up the oil reserves.
Oh, shit.
So all the oil we were trying to get, he just lit on fire.
Yeah.
And it took months and years to like get all that back online. So the fear would be that if we invaded Saudi Arabia, they'd be like, well, fuck you. If we don't get it, no one does. And pull Saddam, light all the oil on fire.
You pull a Voltorb or an Electrode?
Yeah.
You get that?
I don't.
You're not a Pokemon guy?
Yeah.
They have one of their moves is self-destruct.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Kills themselves, but it also does a fucking ton of damage to their opponent. Go ahead. Fucking cue us out. You try it.
What?
You try it.
Oh, you want me to do
End
that?
it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, everyone, it's been a great episode of You Should Be Worried. My name, as always.
No, you're doing it all wrong. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of You Should Be Worried. We had a great time. We always have a great time. And we hope that you guys had a good time too. If you want to support the podcast, you can go back and watch the other episodes and like those. Like this one, please. Comment your favorite part. Or comment something you don't agree with, like the way I treat animals. If you want to go and get tickets for our show happening on July 21st. It's going to be happening at the Stress Factory Comedy Club in Bridgeport, Connecticut on July 21st. It's going to be a really good time. Get your tickets before they go.
And buy your tickets now.
I would buy them sooner rather than later.
Because here's the thing, guys.
Yes.
For all those guys that are waiting to get tickets day of, that's great. We appreciate you. If you get
your guarantee.
If you get your tickets now, you guarantee your ticket. And if we're able to sell enough on the first show, this could lead to a second show. Right. So get your 100%. Tickets now.
You can follow me on social media at Matt. Just look up Matt Lopes. Chris Warren, you can find it Chris Warren Comedy. Ben Kurtz, you can find at Benny Boy. What is the numbers? Also, anything ITM.
No, you only follow ITM. In the making. It's all that matters. He says it every time.
Yeah, but I also what if people want to follow his personal? In the making ITM on Instagram, they put out sketches all the time, and they're all so good.
And you can follow Jared, who has not said anything on this podcast, but was in the room at Jared
Smith 51.
Hell yeah,
at Jared Smith 51.
Give him a follow. Set the other half of In the Making.
Facts.
Fantastic. And I think that's everything.
And we'll link the tickets to the show to the bottom of this episode.
Oh, that's a great idea, Ben.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Thank you guys again for watching. We love you, and have a good one. We'll see you soon.